The Knicks are taking it back to New York this Wednesday, June the 2nd. Hawks at the Knicks in game 5 of that playoff series. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. I'm Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays. I've got Craig Trapp on the line with me today to talk some Hawks at Knicks. So Hawks are up 3-1 in the series. Now we're headed back to New York. Like I said, Knicks -1.5, showing a total of 208. This has been a really exciting series to watch. A lot of beef here, Craig. A lot of beef going on.
Well, it was exciting in New York, not as exciting at Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta at home took care of business pretty easily in both games. I think it'll be a different story. I think, game one, the Hawks probably should not have won that. I think they pretty much stole that game. We were down three with, a minute to go, and they somehow won by two in regulation. So the Knicks probably should have won game one and two. So to me, I think there's a lot of value on a Knicks team that didn't play extremely well or really well at all yet in this series. I think they're headed back home. We've seen the Garden has been electric in game one and two. Exciting to see New York back in the playoffs, and not just back in the playoffs. I mean, I don't think they're winning all this year, but they're at least competitive. I think they extend this series here. So I think the NBA is probably going to make sure Knicks get this win here because, all these series on Wednesday night, all the teams are up 3-1. So we could see, except I think the Mavs and Clippers game, they're up 2-2. But we could see a lot of series over early. So they would like for their New York Knicks and the big market to get an extension at least to go back to Atlanta. So I like the Knicks here -1.5. I think Derrick Rose will be the difference here. No one's been able to stay in front of Trae Young, but I think they got to make Trae Young work on the other end. And I think they'll be playing pick and roll basketball and wearing out Trae Young with Derrick Rose and company. So I like the Knicks here -1.5. I do think there's a lot of value here. I think this line probably would be about 3 if the Knicks played a little better last two games.
Yeah. Well, and a big thing with the last two in Atlanta was the spitting incident. And it was a huge motivational factor. It was just like the situation of we're going back home and you disrespected us. But now I'm with it. Now we've lost twice to you, and that motivation shifts. We got to get one back. We're at home. And like you said, if you've been watching those Knicks games, it's fun. I mean, MSG, they are having some fun with the Knicks right now. So I am totally with you here. Let's roll with the Knicks -1.5. Now, they've kind of been an auto under team for a lot of handicappers this season. 208 is a low one. What do you think? Do we ride it under? Do we look at it over? Do we just lay off of it altogether?
I'm laying off of it. I think I would lean towards the under because, like you said, the Knicks, when they win, it's usually about their defense. But the one worry in this game is they might just have to outscore this Atlanta team because they have not been able to keep Trae Young out of the lane. When you do that, that opens up all those great shooters that Atlanta has. So to me, I think the Knicks probably all have got to do a little more on offense this game. So I think that is why I'm staying off the total, just playing the better play on the Knicks -1.5.
All right, you heard it from the expert. We're taking the Knicks -1.5 points on Wednesday night.